to the next next topic, which is going to be Ghostbusters. Now, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Now, here's one.
This one was released this weekend with
coming out to 60 million
a top critic score on Rotten Tomatoes at 40%, which is very rotten. Of course, this is unlike.
No, but hit the all critics.
Yeah, I know. But unlike Cowboy Bebop, the audience does not agree with the critics.
With the top critics.
As even the all critics. All critics is 62%.
That's fresh, though.
Top critics is 40%. But when you go to the verified audience score, it is 96%, and even the all audience score is 95%.
Which we point out means that it was not review upgraded, because the verified audience score is higher than when they put in all the scores from people who weren't verified.
So this is probably something I will go watch this week. I will go watch it.
I want to see it
just support it, as I did not like the last make of Ghostbusters
2016.
Yeah.
Why?
And so I did not like it. I can watch something and just not like it
because it wasn't funny. That's a perfectly valid statement.
It was boring. It was not funny. It was crap.
Did you not like it because of jokes about things that you cannot do?
Huh?
Those weren't even the worst jokes. That wasn't even the worst joke in the movie. Like, some of the worst jokes are just bad dialogue.
Well, no, and a lot of it was they took a show that I did love. I did really enjoy the original Ghostbusters, and they sort of shat on it, And from what I understand, this isn't shit on my old Ghostbusters. It actually builds up on it. So
the funny thing is, I'm the flip. I went in with low expectations, and the point that disappointed me about 2016 was actually just that they had these improv extended scenes that just weren't funny. And you would sit there and go, "Oh God, please stop! This joke wasn't funny," and you're still going. I mean, that's a lot.
It wasn't until about a year ago, I think, that I actually watched it. And I didn't finish it. I'll be honest. I did not finish it.
I watched the whole movie. I went to theaters.
I could not finish it.
In fact, the funniest thing about that is, I know I've said this before.
I did watch more of it than I made through Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey, I didn't even make it halfway through. I made it about halfway on.
I actually thought Ghostbusters 2016 wasn't as bad as I actually expected, which was weird because the people who went with me were all big looking forward to it and were big supporters, and they came out madder than me. I went in and said, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And they were like, that was horrible. And I was like, you're the one that said it's great and it's going to change everything. I'm like, why are you mad? I went in here going, this is going to be terrible, and going, it wasn't Pootie Tang bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen worse than 2000. Don't get me wrong. Ghostbusters 2016, not the worst movie I've seen. It's actually bad enough to be a bad movie night movie. Like, to go, you want to see something not funny? Let's get some alcohol and watch something not funny. I've seen movies that even bad movie night, you can't get through them. Like probably Birds of Prey. Like where you're just sitting there just going like, this is not in it right. You know what? It wasn't funny all the time, but it was in it. I can follow it all the way through.
Okay.
I could go from bad joke to bad joke, just going, what are they going to do next? Oh, the power of Patty compels you. Wow, all right. You know that. Whereas there's some movies you're sitting there, you're just like, you're about to pass out. I was awake the whole movie.
Oh, well, yeah.
I was awake the whole movie, so, see?
But Ghostbusters Afterlife looks like it has been a hit with most of
that
consumers.
Young girl did a good job. They said she is very good. I don't know the name of the actress. I think it's the Stranger Things girl. But, like, they said she did a great job. And that's amazing. I don't hear a lot of praise for kid actors anymore, where they actually go like, man, this kid knocked out the park. But they said she did a really good job. Which is good, because kids are usually annoying. So that's a good sign. I actually think I can sit through this movie. They say that she's not going to get on my nerves.
Well, that's good. Yeah. No, definitely worth a watch. Several people have told me it was really good, and obviously the audience has mostly agreed. You can. I
mean, number one this weekend.
Yeah, where's the actual reviews?
One moment. You'll figure this out.
There we go. So yeah, I mean, you're looking at
I just saw something about the
consistently.
kid did good in there.
Yeah.
I don't know. This is as a kid from the '80s, but yeah, fans and new fans and old fans alike seem to really like it, and that's a sign of a good movie where it's not just nostalgia vision that's making people like it. That's a good sign.
Well, that, and you're also seeing it's not ones. There's threes and there's fours. You know, mixed in with the fives. I haven't seen anybody who just hated it. You know, there's just some.
I mean, to get a 96, dude, it's not going to be any ones barely, because I mean, that's a really high score. That is a very high score that says that you're going to see barely any ones.
Yeah, I don't. You know, so yeah, that.
Which means, by the way, I really thought that some people were going to try to review bomb it. Congratulations. It appears you didn't. I'm impressed. I love it when I'm disappointed when I expect the worst out of people. That's a good thing.
When
I'm not the guy
when
that's
you're
like,
pleasantly
oh, yes.
surprised.
Yeah,
by
like
humanity.
it doesn't look like they tried to review bomb it. And like you said, I see intermediate, not all of them are 5 stars. I see 3s, 4s. That's good. That's people who looked at the movie and said, not bad, but I'm going to give an honest opinion. I'm not just going to automatically pop it up. I'm seeing like longer reviews. Several of these are a decent length. Not bad. Now there's one person that gave it half a star. But but even then they wrote a description of why.
Yeah. It wasn't just a bomb.
Yeah, they said like they think it tried to be Ghostbusters 1. And I have heard that about it now.
A
lot of people say it tries to be Ghostbusters 1 a lot.
Most of the ones that I see on here that are not 5 stars, that basically they've referenced the original. It's like, it tried to be the original. It wasn't quite there.
I've heard that a lot. I've heard that now you better be willing to have some nostalgia, because apparently it leans heavily on the first movie, which isn't bad for a sequel, honestly. So that's why I'm like, yeah, that's not unusual. This isn't a reboot. This is technically a literal sequel. So I'm okay with that. But then I'm going into it thinking of it as Ghostbusters 3. Yeah. That's kind of what they were going for.
Well, yeah, and I mean, and that's what they said from the beginning. So, I mean, I was expecting a tie-in to the original, and the question is did they really just do a bad job of tying it into the original, or
the consensus seems to be no, they did a good job.
Yeah,
that's the consensus, and I'm willing to give people a chance.
So,
like I said, they managed to pull the critic score up from like 40% to 62, which really tells me something like changed, because to be that low with the top critics, but then all the other critics said nah, and it ended up pulling up all the way to 62. Because dude, we don't see 62 that often on movies. Like we don't see a lot of high critic scale ratings on movies that aren't very political. I'm not saying what side, but just political in general. It's rare to see a movie that has a high critic score and there isn't politics involved. And since this is just a story about Ghostbusting. That's a decent review to me. 62% from the critics and 96% from the audience. Like, if it was a higher critic score, I'd be worried. I'd be suspicious if it had like a 90 critic. I literally have so little trust for the critics. I wouldn't trust a 90. But a 62 I can trust.
All righty.
Oh, sorry, Blood Axe. We rolled on without asking you about a Ghost Afterlife.
Oh, we did.
We did.
Oh, crap.
What you got on that, man? You're the editor. You can
if
patch
you
it
want
on
to
the end.
backtrack a little bit, the thing about Ghostbusters that I think 2016 really missed the point on, that I'm hoping that Afterlife picks up, is Ghostbusters is not a comedy. It's kind of a horror / thriller movie with comedic elements for comic relief. And with Paul Rudd, who is, he's a pretty good comedian in his own right, especially some of his roles that he's been in. That's a little bit of a concern that I have, is are they going down the comic route? But based on all of the trailers I've seen, it looks like they are going with the thriller / horror component, which if you get back into and then have comedic elements, will be successful. The fact that they're, spoiler alert, that they are bringing in some of the elements of the original films as far as being descendants thereof. I think they are hopefully going towards the path that that quote unquote gives fan service to the original. And there's nothing wrong with fan service if it's what the fans want. So I'm actually really interested in the film. I'm going to talk to my kids and see if they want to go. If not, it may just be Mr. and Mrs. Blood Axe film that we go see. But I'm really debating breaking my COVID lockdown and actually going to watch a movie for the first time in years.
I can give you this good news. According to many of the reviews I've heard, they did exactly that. It is not written as a comedy. It's written as a kind of thriller horror with comedic elements, which honestly is what I'd want to see too. I'm with you on that,
Yeah.
man.
Yep. So yeah, that was the only point that I was making was getting back to your roots. Unlike Cowboy Bebop, which we discussed earlier, did not go back to its said roots. And so you have to form a new fan base while alienating your fans, or you're going to be a bomb. And hopefully, this gets back to its roots and picks back up some more steam, because Sony's killing it film wise this year. Because between Let There Be Carnage, between Ghostbusters, which is starting off very well, and the highly anticipated Spider-Man coming up out in a couple of weeks, Sony is just destroying Disney when it comes to films this year.
Yeah, me and boys are gonna have to catch that. We got a code that we go see the Spider-Man movie, so we're definitely gonna have to go see that. Gonna have to get the cash together for that one. That's a definite guaranteed. Got to go down.